We've been trying to suss out how to understand who is likely to find Donald Trump appealing as a Republican primary candidate. Is it based on income? Is it based on religion? Is it based on education? Not really. Is it based on race? Well, the Republican Party is really, really white already, so I don't think it's a surprise that Donald Trump has significant support from white people. Matthew MacWilliams writes in Politico that he found one single statistically significant variable that predicts whether a voter supports Donald Trump. And that variable is authoritarianism. Americans with authoritarian inclinations are propping up Donald Trump's support. And the way Matthew MacWilliams did this is he conducted a poll in December under the auspices of my undergraduate alma mater, the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, sampled 1,800 registered voters. He ran a statistical analysis and he found that education, income, gender, age, political ideology, religiosity had no significant impact on a Republican voter's preferred candidate, and that just two variables were statistically significant: authoritarianism and fear of terrorism, with authoritarianism being far more significant than fear of terrorism. And the political behavior of authoritarians has been widely studied. And when we look at it, it's very obvious what's going on here. We know that authoritarians obey. They rally to and follow so-called strong leaders, and they respond aggressively to outsiders, particularly when they feel threatened. Exactly the type of emotions that Donald Trump's campaign rhetoric has been stirring up. And remember, not all authoritarians are Republicans, but political scientist Mark Hetherington has found that authoritarians have moved significantly to the Republican Party and away from the Democratic Party over the last 14 years. And I think, Lewis, it's always interesting when we see something that we sort of intuitively understand put into a scientific or statistical analysis, and we see it here, and it is not at all surprising.
And this is funny because now I'm thinking about all of those times that Republicans kind of pick these heroes, these idols. And, Ronald Reagan immediately comes to mind, right? Ronald Reagan was this great, powerful leader. And there's almost like this cult-like following.
Right.
And anyone who is against Ronald Reagan is vilified, I suppose.
And the risk is that if Trump could win the primary, he might well appeal to the 39% of independents who are strong authoritarians. He might appeal to the 17% of Democrats who are strong authoritarians. It is important that he not be the nominee. And this gets to the issue of let's run against Trump. I understand the appeal of that, but we've talked generally about how you can't always rely on people not voting for the crazy guy. That's number one. And number two, because he is appealing so strongly to authoritarians, there is some risk that with 39% of independents and 17% of Democrats, I'm just saying it's not a guarantee that if Trump is the nominee, he loses in November.
I think about a Democrat voting for Trump, and my mind is blown.
It seems crazy.
It does, even an independent.